Ladies and gentlemen, we are live with Covenant Pro Wrestling Phoenix Rising. My name is James Randall alongside the greatest of all time, Jay Scott.
It's a pleasure to be here. Always nice to watch some great Covenant Pro Wrestling action. Getting to call it is so excellent, of course, over here for Covenant Pro Wrestling. Very exciting.
It is exciting indeed, Jay. We are live in Phoenix, Arizona in the Covenant Pro Wrestling Arena for our very first pay-per-view, Phoenix Rising. The weather is hot. It's about to get even hotter because the action here at Covenant Pro Wrestling is non-stop. And speaking of the action, Morgan Sharp taking on Mac Daddy Furnace in an Extreme Rules match. These two have been at each other's throats for recent weeks. Mac Daddy Furnace has been saying that Morgan Sharp is a cheat and he'll take any shortcut in the book. But now, there are no shortcuts in an Extreme Rules match because everything is legal.
Is an Extreme Rules match, and it is scheduled for one fall. Making their way to the ring first, from Bradford, England, weighing in at $245, 245 euros, and 245 pounds. He is the White Rose, Mac Daddy Furnace!
Daddy Furnace making his way to the ring. What do you have for as far as advice when it comes to Extreme Rules matches, Jay?
Well, I generally try to avoid the situation entirely. So for Mac Daddy Furnace, I would say I generally try to stay on the defensive in this kind of situation. Whenever a weapon gets involved, I try to remove it from the situation. Although, once that Rubicon is crossed, once your opponent hits you with a kendo stick or something like that a few times, you got to double down. You got to go all in. You got to kind of surpass whatever weapons game they're bringing, as opposed to trying to shut it down completely.
Absolutely great advice.
And now for his opponent, making his way to the ring from San Antonio, Texas, weighing in at 215 pounds, he is the Renegade, Morgan Sharp.
And if Sharp trying to turn over a new leaf, blaze a new trail, a new path, if you will, it's got to be frustrating for people like Mac Daddy Furnace to still be calling you a cheat, still be calling you one of these nefarious characters in Covenant Pro Wrestling when you're trying to be the absolute opposite of that. And it's also got to sting that Mac Daddy Furnace is coming out in a cowboy attire. How much does, these mind games play into the strategy here?
Well, I've been really impressed with everything Morgan Sharp's been doing. I think he's really been staying true to his word, and if you really stick strongly to your beliefs and you have that sense of self-possession, internally, it doesn't matter what people are saying about you. Obviously you want to shut people up because it's annoying, but I think that Morgan Sharp has the internal fortitude to not stray from his, new path that he's trying to blaze for himself. New trail, I should say. That's the expression. All right, and look at this. Very impressive start here from Morgan Sharp. Wow, look at that. A massive kick to the side of the head, spinning him right around into a standing Spanish fly. Got some ripcord action on that too, and following up with an elbow drop. It looks like Morgan Sharp is looking to just drive the wind out of Mac Daddy Furnace's lungs. And I have to say, swinging those weapons, it takes a lot of energy. So trying to kind of cut off some of his stamina right away, very nice strategy.
And it seems like Mac Daddy Furnace and Morgan Sharp are both, expending a ton of energy in the early goings of this match. I don't know if that's a smart, strategy just this early into the match when you do have those weapons that are going to be introduced.
I think if you can tire your opponent out as quickly as possible, it can make those weapon shots later all the more destructive. But I agree, they have to be careful. Just like any professional wrestling match, they're taking a risk here. And a massive, corkscrew bomb there from Mac Daddy Furnace, just taking him out with the full weight of his body. Very impressive.
Daddy Furnace, you never want to give him too much credit because it'll go to his head, but when he does things like that, it is incredible. You know, he's one of the most athletic people we have on the roster, and I don't want him to hear me say that, but I definitely see it. I know the fans see it as well.
And continuing to attack the arm, of course, is going to make it so much more challenging for Morgan Sharp to get a good grip on those weapons. If he's trying to swing a baseball bat and his knuckles are locking up, it's going to be a lot more challenging to effectively deliver the punishment to Mac Daddy Furnace here. And now just trying to maybe piss him off with a couple of these shots to the side of the head. Oh my God. And spiking him on the back of the head there. Absolutely massive.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of shots to the head, that'll give you a headache for sure. And so will that.
Looking to come in with a lariat. With Mac Daddy Furnace catching it. Putting him on the ropes here. Swinging around. Rolling through. Catching it with the head scissors and pulling it all the way through. Oh, look at that. Morgan Sharp pops back up. But Mac Daddy Furnace was ready for it. Catching him right in the side of the head with that drop kick. Very cool. And only a 1 count. You know, a lot of flash and flare there, but it's in these kind of situations where I wonder if maybe the glitz and the glamour is kind of going to Mac Daddy Furnace's head a little bit. In that exchange, wouldn't it have been better to just drive your opponent to the mat with a double leg takedown instead of flipping and flopping all around? I mean, sure, it was awesome to watch, but Morgan Sharp right back up to his feet now and able to go for a near fall.
And that's what we're talking about, using the energy that you have in the most efficient way. But now Morgan Sharp going outside, maybe he heard what we were saying, gonna get an equalizer here to kind of lessen the blow of what he's been doing.
And now, Mac Daddy Furnace catching these shots, rolling out of the way of the sledgehammer, and now look at that massive dropkick to the back. Excellent efficiency there.
We see Mac Daddy Furnace working on the arm and also still going for those, you know, quick-paced maneuvers. Maybe he has more in the tank than we're giving him credit for, but Morgan Sharp going for something big, the high noon.
Look at that, spinning him around, dropping him right on his body. Oh, Mac Daddy Furnace barely able to get that shoulder up. Now looking to stomp a little mud hole in him and maybe walk it dry. Oh my gosh, just boots over and over again to the chest. You can collapse a rib cage like that.
Mud hole, you say? I guess he's trying to make one now. Big dragon screw by Mac Daddy Furnace. And this has been back and forth all match.
Getting him up, beautiful knee. Mac Daddy Furnace comes around with the elbow. But Morgan Sharp, he thought he was ready. Beautiful hip toss there. And you know what I like so much about that hip toss? It's not only the velocity that you get dropping your opponents back on the mat and knocking all the wind out of them. Morgan Sharp also, he tugged entirely on the arm, and that is extremely unpleasant. You can already see Mac Daddy Furnace clutching that right arm as it was almost yanked out of his socket after that arm drag. But still has enough strength in it to execute. I don't even know what that was. A butterfly hip toss?
I think he calls that the blockbuster, the box office drop, or I forget. He talks so much, it's hard to keep track of what he says.
Putting that chair up in the corner. And thinking about what to do here. And, you know, I understand that. Although, in the heat of the moment right now, it's important that you keep moving. You need to have that plan before you... Oh, hold on. Look at this. Locking it in. Got the arm hook, looking for a sort of anaconda vice here.
He calls that the pump and dump scheme, and I'm hoping that he's talking about NFTs and cryptocurrency. But right now, it wasn't enough for Morgan Sharp to be taken out of this match.
And thinking about what to do here, we've still got that chair over there in the corner. I don't know if Morgan Sharp knows about it, so he's got to be careful. He was down the entire time when Mac Daddy Furnace put... Oh, he just made eye contact with it. He knows now. Going for a 2. Not quite enough to get it done. But if you can send Mac Daddy Furnace into that chair, that might be enough to change things, but it looks like he has his own game plan that he's ready for. High noon once again, dropping the jaw across the shoulder. This has got to be it. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God! The resiliency from Mac Daddy Furnace getting that shoulder up again. How much punishment can this man take?
Morgan Sharp said, "What time is it?" Answered high noon, and then Mac Daddy Furnace said his clock was wrong.
Got those knees up right across the back. That is so punishing, especially when Morgan Sharp has to drop himself on his back to hit that high noon maneuver. You have to think about, after taking those knees to the back, if he manages to go for another one of those high noons, is he going to be able to get the pinfall right away because of that damage to the back? Very, very interesting to consider, and we'll see how that plays out as this match continues. Look at that, just a backhand slapping the kendo stick out of Mac Daddy Furnace's hands, but Mac Daddy Furnace able to flip out of that back suplex attempt. Morgan Sharp firing right back with the hands. Mac Daddy Furnace in control again, pops him up. Look at that massive spine buster.
Well, Morgan Sharp able to avert that kendo stick, but not able to avert this flurry of offense on the outside, that barely padded concrete, just working away on Morgan.
And cranking on the arm here, looking to get a little payback for what Morgan did to Mac Daddy Furnace's own arm. Now has him up. This is impressive. Oh my God. I've never seen that before. Yanking him up in what I thought was going to be a back suplex and then just dropping him down in a kind of X Factor. Very cool.
Work smarter, not harder, I guess.
I don't know. That seemed pretty hard, but sure. And now coming in once again with that sledgehammer. But look at the power and just the. I don't know if I can say this. I'm going to try to choose my words carefully. But the kind of screw you attitude from Morgan Sharp as he just bats away these weapons. I would say he's following the strategy I suggested to a T. Look at this, leveling up on the weapons game. Oh, and look at that. I don't know if you saw that, but that sledgehammer just made direct contact with Mac Daddy Furnace's Achilles tendon, and now he's firing these shots right to the shin. Mac Daddy Furnace is going to have a very hard time engaging in the kind of flipping and flying offense that he was trying to use at the beginning of this match. He's not going to be able to come off the top rope like that again.
No, definitely taking out the legs is a good strategy here from Morgan Sharp, and that assault with the sledgehammer was very reminiscent of the attack with a baseball bat a few weeks ago. It seems like Morgan Sharp is seeing shades of weeks prior and trying to get a win here.
And that pop-up kick straight to the mouth. Morgan Sharp doesn't appear to be wearing any kind of jaw protection. He doesn't have a mouth guard or anything like that, so that must have been a thoroughly unpleasant experience. It's like grinding your teeth 1,000 times at once, but coming around once again. High noon. Can he capitalize? Yes, he's got the leg hooked, the shoulders down. 2, could this be it? 3.
And there we have it. Morgan Sharp making his way to victory here against Mac Daddy Furnace.
And your winner of this contest by way
victory
of
for sure.
pinfall, the Renegade, Morgan Sharp.
Very impressive there. I mean, we just saw a war between these two, and hopefully this is the end of it between them, because Morgan Sharp just won a really, truly excellent victory.
Absolutely. Got to be very proud of that one. But we go from one blood feud to another. Dragon Kid and Johnny D were kind of embroiled in the same feud with Mac Daddy Furnace and Morgan Sharp on the opposite ends here. Johnny D attacked Dragon Kid on week 2 for absolutely no reason and just has wanted to take out the Dragon for the last several weeks. Now it's gotten personal.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following matchup is a first blood match. Making their way to the ring first, from Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, weighing in at 160 pounds, he is the Dragon of the Fire Spirit, Dragon Kid.
So tell me, Jay, have you ever been in a blood feud?
Have I ever been in a blood feud? I mean, Yeah, absolutely. A couple times. I've never been in a First Blood match, though, I don't think. So this is going to be a very interesting experience. I don't have that experience myself to lean on, but Dragon Kid here trying to truly channel the Covenant Pro Wrestling aesthetic, cloaked in fire, and we'll see if that, I guess trying to get the crowd on his side, although I think the crowd is generally on Dragon Kid's side, maybe just trying to truly embody the spirit of what we've got going on here today, hoping that it'll propel him to a victory against Johnny D. And you gotta think that Johnny D has got to be infuriated by the way that Dragon Kid refuses to put the H in his name in the right spot. It's got to be a motivating factor in their rivalry.
Absolutely. Dragon Kid trying to rise like the Phoenix, but is he going to be able to when Johnny D just wants to put him down?
It's going to be challenging, but you know, in a First Blood match, I suppose generally we see that blood come from the head. You know, we see people just trying to batter each other open, which makes sense. The skin is thinnest, you know, on your forehead, around the top of your skull. It can be very easy to create a puncture there. But, you know, a First Blood match, that doesn't necessarily have to be how it ends. So I guess the solution is try to wrestle as defensively as possible. You know, because if anything goes wrong, the match is over.
And his opponent, weighing in at 289 pounds from Youngstown, Ohio, this is the Demon of Youngstown, Johnny D.
Right now we see a little bit of a different look for the Demon of Youngstown, Johnny D, fully embodying that demon. And I don't know about you, but I think the guy in the production truck is hoping that he put the H in the right spot in Johnny D's name tonight because he looks menacing.
Absolutely, the raging Demon of Youngstown looking to, well, decimate Dragon Kid, sacrifice him on the altar here. And you know, I have to say, Johnny D is someone who, you know, I have limited experience with Dragon Kid. He, of course, wrestled briefly in CWL right before its closure. But Johnny D is someone who I'm familiar with from XWA. I've seen him in these kind of extreme circumstances before. I've seen him absolutely willing to cut someone open, and he might do it again tonight.
He might very well do it. We see Dragon Kid with those glasses on. I don't know if it provides any protection, but we'll have to see here tonight.
You know, I think it could go one of two ways, because if those lenses shatter, someone's getting cut, you know? So I guess it's kind of maybe a mutually assured destruction kind of situation.
Absolutely. Maybe it's more mind games than protection, but Dragon Kid not going to back down from Johnny D. We see his quickness here.
And look at that, just the hip check there, pushing Dragon Kid away. And Johnny D's got to be careful here. He doesn't want to get caught with a Pele kick like that, because if that toe, the toe of the boot makes contact right in the right spot, that's the skin right there is just going to be split open, and this match is going to be over before it began. And this is very nice, softening Johnny D up. That punch right to the face, continuing the damage in the head.
So we've seen this feud go from singles competitions to attacks, a tag team contest. What more can you do other than a First Blood match? Is this going to be the end all be all of this feud? We're not sure.
Well, we'll find out soon. And look at the amazing speed there from Dragon Kid, shooting up that post like greased lightning and coming down with that massive splash. Johnny D has got to be thinking he's got to create some distance here. And one thing that's really impressed me about Johnny D, Dragon Kid has been dominant in the early moments of this match, but when Johnny D finds an opening, he takes it in a major way, just delivering a massive punch, as we saw earlier, to Dragon Kid's abdomen. And you know that Dragon Kid does not want to experience a leathering like that again. He's going to do everything he can to stay in control. Like with that massive, I don't even know what that was, an inverted 450? That was crazy. Following up with a springboard senton. Not the kind of move that's going to bust someone open. So Dragon Kid's got to be careful here.
You know, the offensive repertoires of these two individuals are drastically different. Johnny D must have the advantage when it comes to the like sheer brute force of being able to bust somebody open. Dragon Kid, he's got more high-flying offense. How is that going to translate into a match like this?
Well, I think we'll find out. I mean, if Dragon Kid's able to keep the distance for long enough, overwhelm Johnny D with his speed, it could be a major difference in terms of just outlasting him. I mean, Johnny D might be strong, but if you can't gather the strength to throw a punch, strength doesn't matter for anything at that point. Dragon Kid can take his time, but he has to get to that point first, and I'm a little nervous that he might be expending too much of his energy. Oh my God, look at that, a just Hurricane Rana whip, sending Johnny D right up to the back of his neck. And what's he looking for here? Coming up, coming around with it. Oh my gosh, around the world a million times. Stun Dog Millionaire just cracking him in the jaw with the shoulder.
Well, I won't attempt to say that in Spanish, but he calls that the Dragon Spirit, and it definitely embodies everything that Dragon Kid is about. But that's not going to get it done in a matchup like this. We see a big Alabama slam there, and Johnny D going up top.
I don't know. I'm going to disagree with you. I think one of the easiest ways to draw blood from someone is to get them to bite their own tongue, and nothing like a shoulder in the jaw to do that. So I think that's actually a pretty solid strategy from Dragon Kid. But he has to actually make it happen first. Now that he's getting pasted with these kendo stick shots and just shattering it over the head of Dragon Kid. That is major. And look at this. What a dominant power slam. Johnny D coming back in a big way.
Coming back in a big way for sure, showcasing his strength. You know, Dragon Kid is only 160 pounds, but I feel like Johnny D could do that with a 300-pounder.
I mean, this man is pure muscle, just rippling power. And now looking to load him up, spins him around, just slams him down on the back of the head. Very effective Uranagi there.
Definitely very effective.
Pulling him in the corner, wrenching on the arm, and that is key. Dragon Kid needs those arms to propel himself onto the top rope so he can unleash with some of that crazy offense, and he definitely needs it to come around and connect with that Dragon Spirit. Oh my God, look at that. A knee at the side of the head. Johnny D is, he keeps coming back. Oh, hold on, he's going forward again. Boom, shoulder to the jaw.
It just comes out of nowhere. Absolutely nowhere.
Once again, one of these crazy inverted 450s. That is just insane. Or perhaps it's a Phoenix Flash. Oh, again! Johnny D has got to be really feeling it at this point. I'm surprised we haven't seen any blood, and the Dragon Spirit not able to secure the victory yet for Dragon Kid. But this thing is far from over. Or actually, I say that, but you know, this could end at any moment. I keep on forgetting. This is the first blood match. This is insane.
It doesn't have to be a pinfall or a submission. Takes a little bit of force and a little bit of luck. And Dragon Kid's not looking good right now.
Not looking good at the moment. Possibly could get busted open on those turnbuckles. Johnny D coming in with the fists. Oh, this is just the opposite of what you want to have happen. The shoulders, the forearms, right above the eye, right where the skin is thinnest, and immediately grabbing that sledgehammer again, looking to paralyze the legs of Dragon Kid with these shots.
Sound strategy, and that Demon's Wrath yet again. That big Uranagi there.
Absolutely spiking him. The Raging Demon of Youngstown, showing all that wrath that he has got locked away inside, letting it all out on Dragon Kid here. And just dropping him, boom, right onto the sledgehammer.
You know, Dragon Kid, his goal in Covenant Pro Wrestling is to put on matches that the fans enjoy. But we're not quite sure what Johnny D's goal here is, other than to inflict, you know, sheer destruction. It's, you know, it's just a stark contrast between these two competitors.
You're absolutely right. One of them so concerned about that kind of external glory, what others think of them, and Johnny D just so specifically ambitious. And we'll see which one of those attributes serves each competitor better as Dragon Kid looks to finish this thing off, catching Johnny D with a leg right in the face. Every massive move that Dragon Kid hits, I keep being surprised that Johnny D has not started shedding blood, but look at that, picking up the knees, absolutely destroying Dragon Kid here. And what's he thinking about now? Going for it maybe one more time, spiking him down. Massive Uranagi, the Demon's Wrath, of course, connecting once again.
And again.
He is not done. This is absolutely massive, but the question remains, how are they going to finish this thing off? So much of what they've been doing is these big slams, and I guess through some kind of freak accident, you might actually draw some blood that way, but neither of these men have been really favoring strikes in a way they thought they were going to.
Definitely, and when they are using weapons, they're aiming towards areas of the body that don't bleed as easily as the face. So maybe this is just a way of drawing it out a little bit more to get a little bit more carnage going, because this feud has just been so heavily contested and they just want to damage each other.
Well, I certainly understand it from Dragon Kid's perspective. This is someone who doesn't have as much experience in those hardcore environments. Someone who's kind of working from this very Lucha Libre-centric background. Someone who's very used to a very specific style. And I think it makes sense. If you're in a match with someone who's used to these environments, these hardcore settings, and you're trying to meet them on their own terms, you might not have a lot of luck. If Dragon Kid goes for the most efficient strategies in this context, Johnny D can just beat him at his own game, because it's not Dragon Kid's game at the end of the day. So if Dragon Kid can tire him out, beat him down with his Lucha Libre style, he may put Johnny D in a disadvantaged enough situation that he can finish this thing off on his own terms.
Absolutely. Great analysis there, Jay. Speaking of analysis, I have to point out that Dragon Kid went into the ring and he was taunting. I don't know, when you have an opening like that, when your opponent is out on their feet, grab a weapon and just start swinging, in my opinion.
Well, I think it goes back to kind of what fuels Dragon Kid, and I've seen this for many luchadors, the ability to draw power from the crowd in an almost supernatural way, to be honest. And look at that, knee connecting right across the face. Dragon Kid was trying to get some energy, get some power to fire him up even further and continue the beatdown on Johnny D, but it looked like Johnny D might be able to recover. He's got him up and just dropping him from that torture rack position.
This is feeling like a game of cat and mouse at this point. Dragon Kid is not in his element here on the outside, and Johnny D looking for something big here.
Oh, and that's going to be what finishes it off. A massive showing from Dragon Kid. He fought as hard as he could, but Johnny D's familiarity in the situation and his pure brutality was able to secure him the win.
Absolutely. Hardest part of the ring came in clutch tonight, and Dragon Kid fought as hard as he could.
He is the Demon of Youngstown.
Massive job there from Johnny D. A huge victory. Making a big statement there.
Making a huge statement. He is now in his element and everyone is on notice. Now we move on to the first ever Yakuza cage fight in Covenant Pro Wrestling history. Of course, Hisano, a former member or maybe even current member of the Yakuza, taking on Ashley Walsh. We saw that, Hisano doesn't like that, Ashley Walsh doesn't have any honor apparently, that likes to give her friends wins, and that's not what she stands for.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is a Yakuza cage fight which can only be won via knockout or submission. Introducing first, making her way to the ring from Kyoto, Japan, she is the boss woman, Hisano.
The boss woman, Hisano, making her way to the ring, and as I was gonna say before, right now, we find ourselves with a competitor out of their element. Ashley Walsh is not used to the Yakuza style, and Hisano grew up on it. So it's gonna be an uphill battle for Ashley Walsh, because Hisano, right now, that look in her eyes, you can see that she's focused and she's ready.
Absolutely. Definitely another situation of stylistic mismatch. And so it's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out. But I have to say, in an environment like a cage, things are just so chaotic. I think Ashley Walsh might be able to turn this thing around.
That remains to be seen, but Hisano is going to do her very best to make her culture, her heritage proud. And I know that she's not going to lay down. She's not going to, bow out of this fight. She's going to see it to the very end. And unfortunately for Ashley Walsh, that is going to mean some brutality heading in her direction.
I am very interested to see how this thing plays out. Hisano now prepared and ready to fight. Now just waiting on her opponent.
We see the
And her
focus.
opponent, making her way to the ring from Dublin, Ireland, weighing in at 176 pounds, she is the friendly Irish lass known for kicking ass. This is Ashley Walsh.
And what were we saying last match about mind games? How much does that play into a match? Right now, Ashley Walsh coming in with a different demeanor, looking a little bit like her opponent here tonight. Is that going to pay off?
I'm very interested to find out. I mean, these are two very competitive women who have just got all the ability in the world here. And I think this thing could go either way. I really do. But as you mentioned, Hisano, she's kind of in her own turf. She's more comfortable than Ashley Walsh may be, and I think that could give her an advantage in the early stages. The question is whether or not Ashley Walsh will be able to catch up.
She's known as the friendly Irish lass, known for kicking ass, but there's no room for friendly in a Yakuza cage.
And look at this, already just beating her down with the strikes. And correct me if I'm wrong, but a Yakuza cage, is it no escape?
It's no escape, submission, and knockout only.
Okay, that's pretty serious. We'll see how things go with Ashley Walsh. I don't know how her submission game is, but she's going to have to do a lot of catch-up work because, Hisano's just battering her with these strikes.
That's something we haven't seen from Ashley Walsh. We haven't seen any submissions, but we've seen several over the course of this matchup already from Hisano. Those stretches and those holds. It's not looking like it's going to bode well for Ashley Walsh, but I don't want to count her out.
Definitely making a statement here, showing how comfortable she is in this environment, how comfortable she is both with the striking aspect, trying to get those knockouts, and of course with the submission aspect. She's showing Ashley Walsh that she is, made a deal that she is not the beneficiary of. This is very much a one-sided situation, and he's just looking to finish this off quickly. But look at this, Ashley Walsh firing back in a big way. Maybe looking to cover some of the ground she's lost in the early stages, just tossing Hisano across the ring. That was major.
Absolutely major. And I've got to ask you, Jay, as someone who's probably been knocked out quite a few times in their career, what's better, to tap out or get knocked out? I'm not sure which path either one of these.
Definitely a tap out, and it's not close. A knockout, you risk serious injury to your brain and skull, even your spine. If you land the wrong way, your jaw perhaps. There are so many extremely sensitive areas that if you are knocked out are guaranteed to be damaged in a certain way. A tap out, you are preventing yourself from being hurt in a certain way. If I'm getting caught in this arm bar and they don't get the full extension on it, I don't suffer, but as soon as they get that full extension of it and I feel they're starting to do damage to the true architecture of my arm, I'm gonna tap out.
Absolutely.
I have control over how much damage is going to be done to my body in a submission situation. In a knockout, that is very much not the case.
So it's more about control than anything.
It's more about preserving your career than anything. I highly recommend. I know that a lot of people like to go with that whole, I'm not going to tap out even when the hold is just so horrible. You are risking serious damage to your life, serious damage to your body, serious damage to your ability to continue to compete is what I'm trying to say in a professional wrestling ring. And as the damage piles on to these women, we are going to find out just what they are made of. Going for the bangerang here, reminiscent of Dolphin Castle. Will it be enough to kind of keep the momentum rolling for Ashley Walsh? And this is an example. You can see Hishino struggling to keep the chin tucked, trying to keep the grasp of Ashley Walsh from directly cutting her across her windpipe. But Ashley Walsh able to take advantage of the situation, flip her all the way around onto her face. And what's she thinking about now? Whoa, looking for the headbutt, but Hishino gets the knees up. I thought that was going to be a knockout right there.
Absolutely. I thought it was going to be a knockout. Ashley Walsh doing it to herself, but now putting Hishino in the Tree of Woe position, but it's the one that she's been in quite a few times before, I'm sure.
And just once again, taking her around with that massive fireman carry, dumping her on her neck. That is pretty rough.
You know, I've got to be honest, no disrespect to Ashley Walsh at all, but this matchup has lasted longer than I expected it to.
And just getting her here. And here's the thing, you know, going for a dragon sleeper there, but she was able to get the bicep across the face. Even though that's not, you know, technically correct, if you can apply enough crushing pressure to the face, you're going to tap out. If my nose is being turned into a, you know, a flat bit of skin on my face, I don't want that to happen, so I'm going to be tapping out. And these people have got to be, they got to be really careful about how much damage they're allowing themselves to receive.
Wait a minute. That big pile driver.
The atomic buster there, and coming around with the armbar, and got the leg locked. You know, the danger of this hold is that you're attacking two limbs at once, but you're sacrificing the efficiency of working on an individual limb. That armbar would be so much more effective if she had all of her limbs wrapped around, focused on that arm. That heel hook would be more effective if she was focusing entirely on... Oh my God, a knockout by Atomic Buster! Came out of absolutely nowhere. The spine just compressed on Ashley Walsh. A major victory for Hishino here.
The Yakuza
Wow.
#1 hit.
I was criticizing her submission game, and she showed me why it didn't even matter at the end of the day, because she got that massive knockout on Ashley Walsh. My God.
Sheer brutality. Absolute brutality.
Ladies and gentlemen, my broadcast colleague Jay Scott had to leave because prior engagements, but now I am joined here by Felix Hamilton. Felix, what are you thinking about this match? I know you haven't been with us before, but I know you keep up on the news.
To be honest, looking at this match, I can see two very good talents. Going into this match, I can't really decide a winner, but I know these two are going to go absolute.
Ladies and gentlemen,
they're gonna
the
go
following
absolute,
matchup is scheduled for one fall.
I wholeheartedly
And
agree with that
Butch's
assessment.
match
It's going to be
is on
absolutely
the
insane,
line.
and I just can't wait.
Making his way to the ring first, weighing in at 214 pounds, from Manchester, England, he is the lunatic, only known as Butch.
Well, a little bit of a different look than we see from Butch usually. He seems to be mocking the entertainer. Is this a good strategy coming into this match?
I mean, in fairness, it looks like someone's just taken soup to his costume. Literally.
Soup.
We see Butch wearing his mask. It seems to be a variation to mimic the entertainer as well. I think this is going to piss him off a little bit.
Well, that's. I think that's the strategy, getting into entertainer's head. But that's not easy. It's
And they're
easier said than done.
making their way to the ring, hailing from the carnival, weighing in at 160 pounds. He is the demonic jester, the smiling apparition. Enter Painter.
Calls himself the smiling apparition, but I don't know about you, Felix. If I were the entertainer, not having a win here yet in Covenant Pro Wrestling, what is there to smile about?
Not much. Is it okay if I hide under my desk? Because I don't want to know what entertainer does in this match. Because I'm kind of scared.
Hide behind your desk all you want. There's plenty of room down there. Go by sound alone if you need to. I understand Entertainer is a menacing figure in Covenant Pro Wrestling, but right now, we're about to see something even far more menacing is these two combined.
Jeez. And we are underway, ladies and gentlemen. Which seems to be controlling the match as it seems right now.
Big German suplex followed up by a regular snap suplex, dropping the knee on the Entertainer's head. I think that's a sound strategy. What you have to do with the Entertainer, try to knock him out.
Dizzy, so he doesn't have time to focus to make all the shenanigans he makes.
You know, I think if Entertainer focused a little more, he would be far more dangerous. I think the general sense of his whole personality is that he doesn't just focus on one thing. He breeds chaos, he lives in chaos, and that's how he likes it. Maybe the strategy there is to slow him down a little bit so he does have to think. Maybe he can make him second guess himself. And Butch going there for a scoop slam, it looked like, but Entertainer able to counter out of that, but Butch not letting up.
If I know one thing about Butch, watching him these past few weeks, is that he doesn't have a say-die attitude going into any match he has. He will execute anything to the fullest capabilities. And right now he's trying to just wear down Entertainer so he doesn't try any tricks up his sleeve.
Absolutely, that shotgun drop kick sending Entertainer to the... That is no small feat. That straight jacket DDT.
Oh, busted open.
Busted him open.
Into the cover.
Only a 2 count there. Entertainer is not ready to be out of this matchup. I'm surprised just as much as anyone to see the Entertainer bleed before he came to Covenant Pro Wrestling. I don't think we ever saw it before. So this is something new for the Entertainer and something new for us. Working away on that arm there, but Butch able to counter out. We see his quickness. An attempted chop, that spinning back fist, but yet another counter. This is back and forth.
Definitely. Do you think it was a bad idea or a good idea to bust the Entertainer open?
I actually think it was quite a bad idea. Entertainer sees blood, he's like a shark. It doesn't matter if it's his blood, your blood. If blood is present, it reinvigorates him. And it's a bad move if you're the opponent.
And as we see, Entertainer, crossbody.
That low crossbody has actually put away quite a few opponents and competitors before. So Butch needs to watch out here. He's looking good with that standing shooting star press, but it's going to take a lot more than that.
Looking at this match so far, I think Butch is pretty much in control. I think he's in the cover.
Very close 2 count there, right on the margin of a 3. I don't know if this is, Entertainer reeling, Entertainer playing mind games, trying to get into Butch's head a little bit. But Entertainer is thousands of years old, and we see that smile special, that mandible claw, pinfall, 2, and Butch.
He's not out yet.
Butch able to kick out.
Up to the second rope. One Butch rolls out of the way.
Quickness there on display. Butch hesitating for just a moment. Entertainer now sending him to the outside with one of the most brutal forearms.
Do you think Entertainer is still in Butch's head from the match a few weeks ago against Will Sheridan?
That's a very interesting question, Felix. I imagine that he is, but seeing Entertainer up close and personal while also having those experiences, I think that brings another layer, another level to the danger for Butch, to the fear that he might be experiencing. And right now, if you're Butch, you have to be afraid that this matchup isn't quite going his way since they've been on the outside.
Oh, they're making their way into
Entertainer's
the
just
ring now.
ruthless.
Uh-oh.
A smile special yet again,
Another
a pinfall.
No, I think it's the... Oh, wait, no. Into the cover.
1, 2.
Oh no.
And the Entertainer able to get his first victory here in Covenant Pro Wrestling, and it comes with strings attached, and those strings are connected directly to Butch's mask.
Does this mean what I think it means?
It definitely does.
Contest via pinfall, the demonic jester, the Entertainer.
Entertainer doesn't seem to be. Wait a minute. Entertainer doesn't seem to be taking advantage of it. I don't know what's going on here.
He's just adding insult to injury, it seems, to Butch. Off the back rope, over the top.
Oh, suicida. You don't see that very often from the Entertainer.
No, definitely not.
Gesturing here, what's he gonna do? I think it's a bad news.
Oh.
Bad news. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Look at that deformed eye.
Ow.
Well, while Butch gets medical attention, we're gonna move on to our next match, a 6-man elimination match for the CPW Women's Championship, #1 contendership. We haven't even crowned our first champion yet, and GM Will Sheridan wants to keep things interesting. So our new champion that's crowned later on tonight is going to have a target on their back.
In fairness,
Ladies and gentlemen,
anyone has a
the
target
following
on their back
matchup
in
is a
this company.
six-way elimination match, and it is for an opportunity to face our yet-to-be-crowned Covenant Pro Wrestling Women's Champion. Introducing first, making their way to the ring from Newark, New Jersey, Cammy B.
Cammy B, of course, the wife of Johnny D, showing her demonic side tonight, coming out dressed very similarly as her husband dressed. You gotta love a couple's costume. It is the season, but can Cammy B get it done in the ring tonight?
You know, I was expecting you to show up here wearing like costumes, but no, you're just suited out, ready to go.
You know, it wasn't a costume night, but it seems like Johnny D and Cammy B didn't get the memo. But now, who's going to be next in this matchup?
And now, making her way to the ring from Huntington Beach, California, she is California's sweetheart, Emma Barkley.
Emma, California sweetheart, has been extremely impressive in her time here at Covenant Pro Wrestling. You know, she has victories over Lex Hook and Bailey Ray, and it's rumored that her win against Ray was what drove Ray out of the company. She came up short in the tournament against Callie Kaplan, and now she's looking for the next step forward, and this might be that step.
Honestly, if anyone has a chance at winning here, it's probably Emma. She has that never say die attitude just going into any match that she has. And even if
Definitely.
she's not... Oh.
Definitely, and you love to see the orange and black representing Covenant Pro Wrestling here at Phoenix Rising, live on pay-per-view. It's an amazing feeling. It's so exciting not knowing who's coming out next.
And now, making their way to the ring from the Welsh Bellies, Lauren Osborne.
The shy, relatable Lauren Osborne making her way to the ring. She was one of the favorites to win the CPW Women's Tournament, but came up just a little bit short a few weeks ago. And now she is also looking for that next step forward, trying to kind of do a do-over and get herself a shot.
I mean, as far as I know, Welsh competitors are very good. I mean, I'm from Scotland myself, similar to like the competitor Kieran Malachi. But as far as I know, Welsh competitors have that never say die attitude as well.
Absolutely, never say die. It rings true for a lot of our Covenant Pro Wrestling roster members.
Definitely.
And speaking of roster members, who are we going to see next? Oh, I know that music already. It's gotta be Bayou Fire.
And her opponent, making her way to the ring from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, she is the crazed Cajun Maria Black.
Let me tell you, it's about to get real spicy here with the crazed Cajun Maria Black making her way to the ring. She hasn't had much luck here in Covenant Pro Wrestling. She's got more losses than wins, but she is one of our most accomplished competitors and most talented competitors, and she's just looking for one more chance to make her road to glory.
Tonight could very well be their chance.
Who could we have next? So many competitors in the ring, so many high caliber competitors. I can't even imagine who this is going to be. Anticipation is killing me.
And now, making her way to the ring from Los Angeles, California, she is the queen of screams, Marilyn Myers.
Ladies and gentlemen, Marilyn Myers is back here again with Covenant Pro Wrestling after her win last week against Ashley Walsh. Her current goal is to show CPW what she's made of, and right now she's gonna have a chance to do exactly that in one of the most high-profile matches that she's had to date.
A lot of these competitors are definitely going for the orange and blackish sort of color scheme.
Can you blame them? The pride that we have in Covenant Pro Wrestling, it's the best place to work, it's the best place to be, and the best place to see action like this. Health coverage could use a little bit more, but it can't sell it for anything less than what it is.
Either
And that
could be
is
just for Halloween.
Well, listen, Hamilton, that's not what we like to think here. It's all about Covenant Pro Wrestling, rising from the ashes like the Phoenix. And to be honest with you, Hamilton, who do you think this is?
I mean,
I don't even know this music.
neither do I.
And now, making her Covenant Pro Wrestling debut,
Oh, debut.
hailing from the Pan American mobile home community, she is the Trailer Park Princess, Max Wheeler.
Max Wheeler is here in Covenant Pro Wrestling, and Mama's got one last cigarette.
I'm just in shock right now. Max is back.
The tension in the air, of course. She is still wearing proudly her Betty Fight and Max attire. You know, I heard through the grapevine that Betty Fight sent the whole roster, trayfuls of her brownies, and now we get another delicious treat here tonight with Max Wheeler in action.
I think Betty might be next.
This is incredible. The tension in the air, you can feel it, it's palpable. And now, I think that's our final competitor to get started with this match.
It is.
This is going to be absolute mayhem, and we see it already. Lauren Osborne going for that patented flipping German suplex. The bridge. Max Wheeler seems to be fighting with Maria Black right now, taking a neck breaker perhaps. And Emma Barkley working on the other orange competitor here in the matchup, Marilyn Myers.
it definitely seems like a lot of like these competitors will want to go to the max, no pun intended.
That's actually Max's Twitter handle. I can't believe it.
Exactly. A lot of these competitors will want to go to the max and try and get something out of this match to get to the final stage, which at the end of the day is a championship opportunity. Who do you think?
Championship opportunity, for sure. Who do I think is going to take this matchup? I have absolutely no idea. If I had to put money on it, you know, I'd put money on Lauren Osborne. She's shown herself to be very resourceful in high-pressure situations. But all of these competitors have just been fantastic. And, of course, Max Wheeler having the momentum here, coming in for the first time, the hype, if you will, the big pop could be a factor in this matchup.
Definitely. Because now we've seen Max Wheeler rolling out of the ring, possibly trying to get a breather.
Possibly trying to get a breather, and we see Emma Barkley getting a breather as well, as Cammy B is thrown in the corner by Maria Black, and a big face buster there by Marilyn Myers. But you know, her good luck won't last long, because now she's dealing with Emma Barkley. Emma Barkley picking her spots, of course.
And Marlon knee straight to the face.
Fantastic knee. And Max Wheeler taking advantage of that situation and grabbing her and just wrenching back on the body with a big slam there. Lauren Osborne seemed to be going for a knee. I wasn't sure what opponent she wanted to hit, but Emma Barkley, I don't know what miscommunication that was, but it was definitely not what she expected. The trailer hitch hit there by Max Wheeler.
Maybe the tricks of Entertainer are still wary about here.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mama's last cigarette, a pinfall. And only a 2 count, Lauren Osborne. No, a bridge suplex. Well, what a welcome this is for you, Felix. A crazy, chaotic matchup, putting you through your paces.
I'm loving it. As you see Max Wheeler throwing it to the ring, but she dodges a flying attack from Lauren.
Thankfully, as this match winds down, it'll get a whole lot easier for the competitors and a whole lot easier for us, because this is elimination.
There's so much to talk about. You can't keep up.
So much to talk about. Max Wheeler on the outside, handling Lauren Osborne, it looks like, and Emma Barkley on the apron, getting hit with a huge drop kick.
Oh. DDT
a pinfall in the ring.
Side.
2. Marilyn Myers does not say die.
Definitely not.
You know, they say Halloween ends, but Marilyn Myers does not.
Oh, I see what you did there.
I'm glad somebody does. That's why they pay me the big bucks here in Covenant Pro Wrestling. The Dragon Sleeper.
But there's a pin on the other side of the ring. The ref has a choice to make, and it looks like they're going for the submission.
Leonard Seymour is having a hell of a time. And you know that was a 3 count. Bad luck there. A pin on the outside. And an immediate kick out. Max Wheeler also lucky there. That's the trouble with these elimination matches, where falls count anywhere.
Another pin inside the ring. But there's a submission on the outside.
Leonard Seymour is more overwhelmed than we are right now. And overwhelming Lauren Osborne with some offense.
Shall I just oh.
See, that's how we should count all the pins. I know he's got to, you know, look at the shoulders and make sure they're down. But in a match like this, just count the pins. Maria Black able to stay in it. You know, counting the pins from the outside of the ring is way more efficient. I think he should start doing that more.
Most definitely, but it doesn't help when there's a submission and a pinfall at the same time.
Absolutely not. Emma Barkley, a huge frog splash in the middle of the ring.
And in the recovery now, quickly, he runs back and
You know, I wish that Covenant Pro Wrestling could employ 2 referees. I know that Leonard Seymour is going to get a little bit of a break here today, but I think some of these matches need 2 referees at a time.
I was literally about to offer to run in there and help him.
Special guest referee Felix Hamilton at your service, but not tonight. Leonard Seymour is getting his cardio. A submission on the outside of the ring. California Dreamin' hit in the middle of the ring. Cammy B, she's got to be out. Leonard Seymour trying to get inside the ring this time.
Back in. 1. That's it. We have our first elimination.
We have our first elimination. Emma Barkley showing why she is in this matchup.
I know it's a little bit more tame.
It's a little bit more tame. There was a lull in the action, just a little bit. It helps when most of the competitors are laid out on the outside. A big forearm smash to the back there, that lumbar region. Russian leg sweep.
Outside trying to get back to their feet, and as we see Marilyn Myers getting back into the ring. She goes down to one knee out of respect, but it doesn't work.
Seemed to be going for something big there, but no. Maria Black hitting her with a German suplex. I question not going for the pin earlier there. Wait a minute.
The ref can't make up their mind.
Max Wheeler is out.
That was definitely.
That was a little strange.
That was definitely a 3 count, and Marilyn Myers is lucky to walk away and still be in this match.
Both competitors are lucky. I guess, you know, not having more than 1 referee per match like this is a benefit to some of these competitors for sure. Max Wheeler got hit, you know, jacked with a huge kick and rolls out to the outside of the ring. And Lauren Osborne focusing her attention now on Marilyn Myers, while the California sweetheart is taking it to Maria Black.
I think I know who I want to win now.
Who do you got? Place your bets.
I'm betting $2. Marion Myers comes back and she just takes everyone by storm and she gets that championship opportunity.
Well, that is quite the prediction there. I don't know if it's exactly going to happen, but I don't count anybody out here in Covenant Pro Wrestling, and it could very well happen. You know, she's very impressive, but I've got my money on Emma Barkley. You know, I thought I had my money on Lauren Osborne, but Lauren Osborne seems to be in bad shape here. Mama's last cigarette, a pinfall. I don't know why Marilyn Myers did that.
Marilyn.
It's elimination, Marilyn. It's okay. You'll get used to it.
Yeah. And Marilyn just drops. Just a bunch of kicks straight to the face. I mean, not many people can take that. Into the submission goes Marilyn Myers on Max Wheeler. And straight away just lets it go. But
they hit her with that grave danger and a pinfall.
Oh.
Max
Wheeler. Welcome back party. Almost cut short here.
Max Wheeler waited the maximum amount of time to kick out there.
Oh my.
Marilyn Myers not wasting any time there.
Uh-oh.
Wait, did that interrupt the pinfall?
I don't know, honestly. Kick out! Oh.
Marilyn Myers, true to the Myers name, just keeps on ticking.
I currently don't have my wallet on me, so I don't have $2. Oh, it's another elimination.
Another elimination. We are seeing this match kind of wrap up just a little bit here, but we have a ton more action yet to go. We see Max Wheeler trying to get into the corner. When she goes in that corner, she's going to hit that big knee, that Jesus Christ. But I don't think she had the opportunity to hit it. And the trailer hitch on Maria Black.
Could that be another elimination?
And it is.
It is. We're down to 3 competitors now.
We are down to 3. Lauren Osborne just now getting up. Mama's last cigarette on Marilyn Myers.
No. I don't have $2. Oh. Max Wheeler has that never say die attitude. That's not the Myers way.
I cannot believe what a contest this has been. And Emma Barkley showing her ferocity here. A big scoop slam.
And Emma Barkley just shot straight to the head.
Is she thinking about California Dreaming? No, just dropping her on the top rope.
That's incredible reflexes. Oh.
You got to have eyes in the back of your head in a matchup like this. That springboard drop kick
Cover. Max
almost took Max Wheeler out.
Max wants this party train to keep going.
You know, I heard that Max Wheeler went on a road trip all across the United States with Betty Fight, and all they did was fight in all of the gyms, all the MMA gyms that they could find, and a double team there.
Oh.
And it shows Max Wheeler is tougher than ever.
Outside to the ring goes Max Wheeler. And I know it's just all going outside, but Myers just thrown back in.
Absolutely,
Myers, just take a breather. Just take a breather. Or just go straight back in. You know?
No signs of letting up on any of these competitors. Wait a minute. This could be California Dreamin', and it is! Emma Barkley, California Dreamin' for an opportunity to face whoever is crowned champion tonight. 1, 2, and a 3 count. Max Wheeler is out of this one.
Thanks for coming, Max, but your welcome back party is cut a little short. And as you see Myers going into the cover, you might be about to owe me $2. Oh.
You are absolutely right. You were so much closer to your $2, but I hate to tell you here, Felix Hamilton, I don't have $2 either. They pay me in animal crackers.
You think the announcer has $2?
Somebody's better have $2 here. Oh my God.
Oh, on the back.
I think that was the Twisted Fantasy. I think that's what that's called.
Oh. Into the cover. $2, please.
And your winner of this contest via pinfall, she is the queen of scream.
Unbelievable. Marilyn Myers. 2 matches in. Marilyn Myers, 2 matches into Covenant Pro Wrestling, and she is the #1 contender for the yet-to-be-crowned Women's Championship. Now, whoever is going into that matchup and going to come out the victor for the championship already knows who they're going to be facing, who's going to be gunning for them.
I think the finalists of the women's match are now looking at their next opponent thinking, damn, I got a hell of a woman to get through.
Marilyn Myers, the Queen of Scream, is shouting here tonight that this is her time.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're switching it up again, as now I am joined by my broadcast colleague Jack Colby, and we're gonna see Jacob Sterry and Ali Tamo taking on Ebac and Lord Chancho in a ladder match for the CPW World Tag Team Champions. And I've been told that Will Sheridan, our chairman, says there is a surprise in store for all of us, and I cannot wait.
Nor can I.
It's going to be an amazing contest. You know,
Ebac and Lord Chancho are amazing people. Jacob Sterry and Ali Tamo
Ladies
are
and gentlemen,
less so.
the following contest is a ladder match, and it is for the Covenant Pro Wrestling Tag Team Championships. Introducing first, making their way to the ring from Norwich, England, weighing in at 240 pounds, he is the connoisseur of the console, Ebac.
You know, Ebac literally exudes champion. He definitely, you can see him here with some gold. He's a two-time world champion in CWL, a two-time Twitch champion in CWL, and right now he aims to make that a Covenant Pro Wrestling Tag Team Championship added on there as well.
I mean, he's very, very experienced, but is Chancho able to keep up with him during such a big occasion?
That is a very good question. I am excited to see how Lord Chancho and Ebac cooperate in a matchup that involves ladders. I'm not sure if Lord Chancho is, very well seasoned in ladder matches. He seems to, even though he's a high flyer, stay on his feet much of the time. So this will be very interesting.
Yes, it will.
I'm still not used to the new music from Lord Chancho, but it's growing on me.
Just like Chancho is.
Definitely. Every week it seems like he eats a few more Whopper Juniors.
That it does, James.
And now for his partner, making his way to the ring, hailing from the Burger King Kids Club, this time weighing in at over 1,500 Whopper Juniors. He is the expert gamer, Lord Chancho.
Lord Chancho coming in, having eaten 1,500 Whopper Juniors in the span of 24 hours preparing for this match, and you can see it just on his skin with that subtle gleam of sweat that he's bringing into the matchup.
I'll be honest, I'm concerned for his health. Like,
Definitely.
very concerned.
It would be a negative factor for any other man, but Lord Chancho, sometimes you just got to admit when superhuman is possible, and that is what you're looking at when you look at Lord Chancho, the Fortnite fiend. The expert gamer is not bound to the confines of normal eating habits.
I mean, he never has been, has he, though? Like, he's not a kid anymore, yet he's still the longest reigning member of the Burger King Kids Club.
And that says something. It's something that you earn.
I mean, I think he just ate the other potential presidents, though.
That is a possibility, but speaking of, eating, these two don't seem to ever eat.
He can eat shit as far as I'm concerned.
And their opponents, making their way to the ring, weighing in at less than all of you fat fucks in the crowd. They are the sex appeal of the Southwest, Jacob Sterry and Retro Ali Tamo.
If you didn't get my reference, I was referencing that they always say they weigh less than all of the fat fucks in the crowd, whoever those people are, because I look around and all I see are beautiful people, and when I look at them, I see the opposite.
Purple is my favorite color, but it's quickly changing every time I see Tamo in that hideous coat.
Yeah, my favorite color is any color that they're not wearing, honestly.
Yeah, anything they're not doing is a good thing.
Exactly, they say they have no filter, but you wish that they had one. Everything they are, you wish they were the opposite. Jacob Sterry and Ali Tamo, they're just despicable human beings, and you really hope, I don't care if I get fired for this, you hope that they don't win these championships.
Oh, I don't care if I get fired for this. I hope they get injured.
I hope they come close enough to us so I can slap them today.
Yeah, since you pussied out.
Not today. It's Phoenix Rising. I'm feeling good. And right now, we're going to see this contest. Wait a minute, guys. I'm getting an update in my headphones. Uh-oh. We have more competitors.
What?
And
We have
now
another team
the
in this match.
making their tag team debut in Covenant Pro Wrestling, Damon Ryder and the Dayton Abomination, Jack Harness.
What?
Sheridan is saying that Harnage has
Signed a CPW contract. Damon Ryder scoured the internet, scoured the earth for a competitor, as similar to him as he could find, someone who's willing to get violent, someone who's willing to be extreme, and he found that in Jack Harnage. And today, they are getting a chance just because of Damon Ryder's ability and his proven track record to challenge for these tag team championships.
He's already tearing through the singles roster. Why does he need to do a tag as well?
I guess Damon Ryder, as much as he is, just down to get extreme, down to do whatever he wants in terms of match types and everything, he does want championship gold, and I guess he can't say no to a guy like that.
I'd be afraid that he'd hurt my loved ones if I said no to him.
Definitely be afraid of that. And that put nothing past them in Jack Harnage going outside the ring very quickly, trying to get those ladders already, it seemed like.
Yeah. I mean, Chancho's already taking a beating. Actually, is he? I can't really see from here.
Lord Chancho seems to be holding his own, and Ebac and Ali Tamo are on the outside as well, leaving Damon Ryder in the ring alone, but he needs a ladder to get those belts, I would assume.
Yeah, I don't know. This is going to be an interesting match. Have we had any of the ladder matches in CPW yet?
We have not. This is the very first ladder match in Covenant Pro Wrestling, and it is chaos already. We saw Ebac slamming Damon Ryder on the ladder with a big backdrop, and things have just spiraled from there.
Speaking of spiraling, I think some of the... Actually, this is very appropriate, considering his health is going to be in a downward spiral after this.
I think everyone, when you introduce ladders, their health is going to be in a downward spiral, and now we see the first attempt, possibly, at going up top, but Ebac seems to have changed his mind. Big body splash from the top rope on the outside to Ali Tamo, and Jacob Sterry dangling by his fingertips, but unable to get those belts as Damon Ryder slams him down with authority with an electric chair drop. Ooh, that headbutt there was very suspect.
Where's the referee?
That is a very good question. We hired a brand new referee just for this match, and it doesn't seem like he's actually in the ring. So there's going to be a problem in accounting with that one.
He flipped his job.
Jacob Sterry and Ali Tamo climbing the ladder together, and I don't know if that's a good strategy because that doesn't give you any opportunity to deflect any of the attacks by your opponents. I think one has to stand guard when you're in a match like this.
Yeah, I mean...
Both Chancho and Ali sent to the outside, and you were saying, Jack, I'm sorry.
There's so much going on in the ring. It's hard for me to even track.
Well, that definitely tracks for Damon Ryder right onto that ladder there. Ebac gonna set it up perhaps.
I mean...
Nice flipping arm drag there. I'm wondering if we're gonna see any, inner team offense there when they're teaming up. You know, we have our tag team competitors here, but if you're in a matchup with, Jacob Sterry and Ali Tamo, you might want to work together just to make sure that they don't get an opportunity at these belts.
I mean, who doesn't want to stop Jacob Sterry and Ali Tamo from getting the belt?
Big back suplex on the back of the head. Ali Tamo sent to the outside by Lord Chancho. Things are heating up. Dragon screw right in the middle of the ring. Jacob Sterry now mounting Damon Ryder and just punching away at the face. Lord Chancho seeing an opportunity to grab the ladder, but Ali Tamo tries for maybe a back suplex there, or German suplex, but unable to get it. This is complete chaos.
Complete chaos? Yes. But in matches like this, I question how much luck plays and how much skill plays. Because, yes, you have to be skilled to win a match like this, but you also have to be a bit lucky.
You have to be a bit lucky. You also have to prepare yourself. Things like stamina really come into play in a match like this. Durability and just your natural sportsmanship and the gifts that you've been given just, as a human being.
Yeah, I mean, Chancho is very gifted mass-wise.
That is definitely one way to put it, and I'm sure Burger King would appreciate that message.
Yeah, they definitely would.
Ali Tamo and Jack Harnage in the middle of the ring. Ebac seems to be in a bad situation on the outside, getting attacked by both of the different teams with respective, members of those teams.
Yeah.
Lord Chancho going up. He seems to be a little far away to grab those belts, but no, I guess he's got the reach.
I mean, he's used to being short, I guess. I mean, not as short as Dragon Kid, but short still.
You know what's funny? I think Lord Chancho is as wide as Dragon Kid is tall.
Who isn't? Is that a woman up there? No. I always think from just the attire that Tamo has a feminine side to him.
Listen, I think Jacob Sterry and Ali Tamo, their priorities are way beyond gender, okay?
They don't try to draw attention to their gender identity. I don't think they prescribe to a particular ideal. They just kind of go with the flow, and as long as that flow leads to adoration and attention for them, they're cool with it.
I mean, I always wonder with gender fluid superstars, will they be able to go onto the women's roster, after being on the men's roster?
Absolutely, I would love to see that. I know the fans would love to see that. And if there is a demand for it, you know that Will Sheridan is looking into it logistically and everything, making sure that if that does happen, it's going to be an inclusive and cooperative environment for everybody involved. And I honestly can't wait for it to happen. It's going to happen in our future.
So what you're saying is, in the future, if we are able to, we might have male superstars transferring over to the female roster.
I think we're getting hung up on terminology and labels and divisions, but really, in Covenant Pro Wrestling, if you are a good athlete, if you're a gifted athlete, you can jump around and do whatever you want, but I think we're getting hung up on terminology and logistics here, so I want to focus a little bit more on what's going on in the match right now, because this is insane.
Yeah. Speaking of logistics, it looks like the logistics of getting out of that hole on Tamo, or Tamo's applying, is very difficult logistically.
Definitely, and I think, we should be focusing a little bit more on the logistics of climbing the ladder and getting those belts, because it's not as easy as it looks. It's not hanging a picture or anything like that you would do at home. It is, fighting for your life on a 20-foot ladder trying to grab championships that, you know, everybody else in the matchup wants.
Yeah, I mean, wait, is Damon really? Yeah, Damon's doing a risky move.
Damon Ryder, I believe, made Lord Chancho tap out just a moment ago, but tap outs don't count in a match like this. The only thing that counts is grabbing those belts from above the ring.
Yeah, just tell Sterry that it's only the title belts he should grab.
Well, I think that's the only thing he's willing to grab in this matchup today. And speaking of grabbing, Damon Ryder getting grabbed by the foot there.
I don't know, Tamo's the kind of person I can imagine taking someone's belt off to hit him with it. Like, just to use it as a weapon.
Now that you mention it, it does sound like that is right up, you know, Tamo and Sterry's aisle there, or, you know, so to speak. Big dragon sleeper, or dragon suplex rather. I'm a little bit confused in this matchup. There's so much going on. Jacob Sterry seems to be knocked out, draped over the top of that ladder there, laying on the floor.
I mean, I'm expecting at least one person to be unable to walk after this match.
Well, we usually have, you know, superstars getting their fingers broken through the biting of hands. We have them getting concussions from chair shots. You know, not being able to walk is not far off, and Damon Ryder may be in that situation momentarily after that giant cutter from the top of the ladder by Ali Tamo. And Jacob Sterry, insult to injury, take it to your clown fall right on Damon Ryder. Ali Tamo going for the belts, but Lord Chancho electric chair drop, just dropping him on the back of the neck.
Ooh, very, very, very dangerous that.
We talk about competitors not being able to walk, talk about all the injuries that are possible, and no matchup, you know, or most matchups cannot inflict that type of damage as much as this one can with the big ladders that are introduced.
Yeah, I mean, do we know what the ladders are made of?
Assuming they're made of steel, but I could be wrong. You know, we don't have quite the budget for adamantium ladders, but maybe one day.
Wait, isn't that what fucking Logan's made out of?
It is for sure. Wait a minute, Jack Harnage. What the?
What? Why did they let him grab it?
I have no idea. I don't know why they let him grab it. Never count out the new guy. That's just a rookie mistake there.
And your winners of this contest and new
Damon
Covenant
Ryder
Pro
chose
Wrestling
right.
Tag Team Champions, Jack Harnage and Damon Ryder.
Damon Ryder, the ever eccentric, is pretending to hold a tag team title that he does not have in his possession right now. But right now we're talking about titles being in possession. So we're moving on to Belle Florent versus Callie Kaplan. Both of these women want to walk out Covenant Pro Wrestling Women's Champion, and nothing is going to stop either one of these except for the other.
I'm wondering what's with the goggles.
You know, that may be a question we can ask at a later
Ladies and
date,
gentlemen,
but
the
right
following
now,
contest is scheduled for
Right now it's about
fall,
championships.
and it is for the Covenant Pro Wrestling
Yes,
Women's
it is.
Championship. Making her way to the ring first, from Bordeaux, France, Lovette de Bordeaux, Belle Florent.
Belle Florent, the striker, the submission specialist, the undefeated 4-0 Belle Florent. No one was able to put her down in the tournament. No one's been able to put her down since her debut here. Does this bode well for Callie Kaplan, who does have a loss?
I wouldn't count the Neon Panther out.
Can't count any of these people out. And right now, we're going to see the Neon Panther herself.
And her opponent, making her way to the ring from Norwich, England, she is the Time Bender, the Neon Panther, Callie Kaplan.
We see both of these competitors are quite feeling themselves on this pay-per-view occasion. Callie Kaplan dressed in the neon, you know, Belle Florent draped in gold. Both of them are making a moment of this occasion because it does mean something. One of them is gonna walk out with that belt.
What is that? Huh? Is he wearing a Ric Flair?
You know, Callie Kaplan takes inspiration from all the greats, including Rick himself. So right now,
Woo!
the Neon Panther is gonna be wooing up a storm, perhaps, in this one.
Perhaps she'll bend time again.
She might have to against a competitor like Belle Florent. Referee Leonard Seymour raising that belt up. Finally, after weeks, we're gonna find out who was our champion.
Who do you think will win this match?
You know, I'm not gonna place bets on either of these two women. I'm not gonna bet against either of these two women. It would
Is that because you don't know who's gonna win, or it's because you're afraid of them?
Well, I don't know who's gonna win. It's such an unpredictable contest, and we see that there with that missed. I don't know. I guess it was a double rotation moonsault, perhaps. But you know, you don't want to bet against either of them because they're both equally, you know, capable of taking this win.
Yeah, they're
And
equally talented.
Equally talented, and I think, you know, betting against one or the other is selling them short.
Yeah, it really is.
Belle Florent went with a big spinning kick, but now a spinning code breaker by Callie Kaplan. And a huge lariat there. We've seen the kicks be very present in this matchup. And, you know, both of these competitors are well seasoned when it comes to kicking maneuvers and, you know, just maneuvers with the lower extremities. Can one of them win against the other?
What's the Kaplan, what is it called? The modified Kaplan.
The modified Kaplan mutilation, yes.
Yeah, will play a part here today.
Oh, most definitely. I know she's going to lock in at least once. It seems to come out of nowhere, and it seems to be unavoidable for most. So unless Belle Florent can work a miracle, that's definitely on the menu here today. And we see big clubbing punches to the side of the face, maybe intending to draw blood here. And now it looks like the rings of Saturn locked in. But wait a minute.
Very unique submission offense here.
But Belle Florent able to get out of it.
Ooh,
Belle-
her poor elbow.
Exactly. We see Belle working the limbs here, and I think that's the strategy that both competitors are going to take. take out a limb, you take out the whole body sometimes. And that's a surefire way to slow your opponent down and get a win.
It really is. I mean, also, targeting the ankles is a really, really good strategy too.
For sure, and a target mark there by Belle Florent, a pinfall. Leonard Seymour firmly grasping the rope. Callie Kaplan showing her ring awareness, showing that she's a veteran, you know, in all of wrestling, and showing she's one of the best in Covenant Pro Wrestling. But the Butcher Snare, it's locked in.
Let's go. Will her shoulders give out?
Shoulders, knees, you know, that really is a knee lock there, just inverted, sort of like a tombstone pile driver maneuver. Nice, very snappy suplex there by Callie Kaplan.
It's always confused me why, when that fails, like when it fails, why don't you just do it into a tombstone?
Sometimes she does, and we saw just a moment ago, Callie Kaplan tried to lock in that modified Kaplan mutilation, but immediately let it go because Leonard Seymour said there was a rope break. And, you know, in my opinion, I think just let these two women go. You know, a championship matchup is not a time, and unless they're firmly grasping the ropes, to call a rope break. And a neon sunset. 2. And a 2 count. Just a very small margin away from a 3.
Very, very small margin from a 3. Ooh, there's the knees again. Kaplan, I'm not sure what to think of Kaplan's performance so far today. She's being very, very aggressive, but will she burn out before she can finish the match?
She's being aggressive. You know, I think she's taking this a little bit differently than she normally takes her matchups. I don't know if she's going to get worn out, but whenever you're in a matchup with Belle Florent, that is a possibility.
It is, James. It really, really is. Is that an armbar?
We see that cross armbar there, that Juji Katami, as some call it, locked in. Belle Florent seems to be shifting her weight there, able to transition. The Irish whip into the turnbuckle. Callie Kaplan going for something big, but a big elbow.
Big elbow, but
the Butcher Snare again. You see this, all the pressure on the knees and on the shoulders. Belle Florent is locked in to that hold, and Callie Kaplan is not going to be able to escape. That is a tap out there.
And your winner of this contest via submission and new Covenant Pro Wrestling Women's Champion.
I can't believe it.
Florent.
Belle Florent is our very first Covenant Pro Wrestling Women's Champion, and she is still undefeated, 5-0.
Whoa. Wait, is she ever gonna be defeated?
Is she ever gonna be defeated? You know, I feel silly now having any doubt that Belle Florent was gonna win this one, but she is on a run, and you've got to think she's already thinking about Marilyn Myers, who won that matchup earlier. Marilyn Myers, of course, the Queen of Scream, is now our #1 contender. But holding that belt with pride, Belle Florent, you know, she came dressed in the correct attire, I should say.
Whoa.
But now we have a 10-man battle royal over the top rope for the CPW men's #1 contendership. This is going to be absolutely insane. Will Sheridan is off his rocker. He's already setting up for the next big feuds, next big stories, and the next huge rivalries here in Covenant Pro Wrestling, because we don't stop.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is an over-the-top rope battle royal match where the winner earns a shot at the yet-to-be-crowned Covenant Pro Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion. Introducing first, making their way to the ring in their Covenant Pro Wrestling debut, they are the Bounty Hunter, Feuds!
Former Yakuza member of the CWL, making his CPW debut. Feuds, we haven't seen him in months. I cannot believe it.
He has glorious hair.
Glorious hair, a slightly different look than we saw him last. But entering number one, you don't know if that is going to be a detriment to him. It probably will be.
Definitely.
But he is a bounty hunter, and maybe, just maybe, he is on the hunt for some championship gold.
Could be. But he's very biker. He doesn't really radiate Yakuza vibes to me. He radiates biker vibes.
Nope. Is he with the Yakuza? He's taking those lessons, taking those values, and he's turning to the other side of the coin.
What, the Sons of Anarchy coin?
I suppose so. But who? Who was our second competitor in this match?
And now, their opponent, making their way to the ring at 220 pounds, from Granger, Wyoming, they are the No Limit Soldier, Brad Winters.
The No Limit Soldier, the Iron Patriot, Brad Winters, making his way out to the ring. He's had some success here in Covenant Pro Wrestling. He's had, a friendship here with Will Sheridan, so you don't know if that played into his booking in this matchup here today. But you know that he is one of the most talented, most technical, and most gifted superstars that we have.
It sounds like someone is a Winters fan.
I'm a fan of anyone that gets in this ring and does their absolute best. And yes,
Really?
anyone that does their absolute best in the Covenant Pro Wrestling ring.
Jacob Sterry.
Does Jacob Sterry ever do his best? Ever? Tell me that.
I mean, there's no way he could do much worse, so it's probably his best.
Well, we'll have to get to that in another time, because right now we are in the middle of a battle royal. Feuds joining us here in Covenant Pro Wrestling, but already being German suplexed there by Brad Winters. He's going to be facing a lot of people he's never met before.
And now,
It's got to be
approaching
somewhat
the
of a
ring
disadvantage.
At the number 3 spot, the Second City Knight, Daniel Horror.
Daniel Horror coming into the ring, but Feuds meeting him with a big punch there. A couple of kicks attempted by Daniel Horror. One of them hit, one of them didn't, and an atomic drop there.
Whenever someone looks at a horror, they literally see red.
Literally.
Yeah, like, do you think if we put a bull in there, horror would be the first to go?
And at number 4, making
Contrary
their
to
way
what
the
people
ring
think, it's
from
not the
Montreal,
red that makes the
Quebec,
bull run.
Canada,
It's
they
just
are
being
the
irritated.
global icon, Aiden Flynn.
Who's the most annoying superstar in here now? Like, that could irritate a bull the most.
I mean, the self-proclaimed global icon, Aiden Flynn. He's got some red on him. If that is a factor, I'm sure that it isn't, but he is quite irritating from what I hear.
Indeed.
And now, making their way to the ring, entering at number 5, from Miami, Florida, this is the Sauce, Chris Edwards.
Chris Edwards making his way into this matchup, and straight away with a burning hammer, Brad Winters in rough shape. This match has spiraled out of control. Will Sheridan is a madman for putting this together. Ray up in suplex position, but switches and does a German suplex.
So who do you think
Ladies and
will be the
gentlemen,
first person
entering at
out?
number 6, this is the fire starter, Jacob Nitro.
If you're going based on statistics alone, I think it's got to be Ray. He's been in here the longest. He's taken a good deal of punishment.
Yeah, I mean, the Biker Boy is tough, but I don't know.
Wait a
I don't
minute,
think
And now, in the
Whoa,
number
whoa.
7 spot, from Biloxi, Mississippi, this is the Wolf.
Well, Brad Winters has been eliminated.
William Black.
Brad Winters has been eliminated.
I wonder if Brad Winters is how angry he feels.
You know, Brad Winters is not the type to get angry very easily. I know that he's honored to be in a matchup like this, to earn that chance.
Ladies and gentlemen,
And,
making their
you know,
way to
from
the
what
ring
we've
in
seen
the
from
number
Winters
8
and quite a
spot,
few of these
this
other
is the
competitors in this
newest
matchup, this will not be the last chance they have an
Kieran
opportunity.
Malachi.
I mean, yeah, but he's still blown it. He's still
Perhaps.
blown that rare opportunity.
And you also have to look at it, it's kind of a numbers game as well. You know, you're in there with 9 other competitors. It's not supposed to be easy. So losing in this capacity isn't something to be
Ladies and
shameful about.
gentlemen, making their way to the ring in the number 9 spot.
We saw William
From
Black go over the top
Lubba
rope.
Land, this is Daddy Luscious Matthew Meyer. William Black.
Who would win in a
has
daddy off?
been
Mac
eliminated.
Daddy or Matthew Myers?
That is a very good question, but it seems like, you know, if I know them two like I think they do, they would just go out and have a drink together because they seem to be very similar in their demeanor, you know?
Yeah, but people who are similar often also don't like each other, if you get what I'm saying.
That
They
could
should-
be the case.
There's such thing as being too similar.
Who is going to be our last competitor in this matchup? We have 5 seconds to find out.
And now, entering at
What
the
the
10th
hell?
and final spot, from Rockville, Maryland.
What the hell?
This
It's
is
Jay Scott,
the greatest,
the greatest of all time. It's Jay Scott.
Jay
Who's Jay Scott?
Scott.
One of our other broadcast colleagues. You don't know the guy? He was in CWL for years. One of their biggest stars there. And now he's here in Covenant Pro Wrestling.
I mean, it's looking like he's coming to do some business.
Coming in here to do some business for sure. Coming in at the number 10 spot. The luckiest of the bunch. But is he going to be lucky enough to win? Well, he's lucky enough to get some chiropractic for free. Because Kieran Malachi, big power slam there. And I don't know about you. Drop dead Tiger Driver. I don't know about you, Jack Colby. I'm waiting for others to get eliminated just to make our job a little bit easier. Daniel Horror might oblige us, and yes,
Daniel
he
Horror
does.
has been eliminated.
Poor horror. Poor horror.
It's horrible, if you will.
I make the jokes, you don't.
And I make the junks, you won't.
Junks.
Listen here, shut up.
Chris Edwards has been eliminated.
Chris Edwards, the sauce was not saucy enough. I've been sick for 3 weeks. I'm getting better, but I'm not quite there. Quit picking on me.
Oh no.
Jay Scott trying to send Kieran Malachi over the top rope. Kieran Malachi able to counter out very impressively, I might add.
Yeah.
And the bounty
Feuds
hunter is the
has
bounty
been
hunted.
eliminated.
I mean,
Very upset by that outcome.
I'm
but-
not. I don't really know the guy.
Well, I was saying, Ferre was very upset by that outcome. I don't know him very well either, and I feel like the competitors in this matchup, the ones that have been here the longest, definitely deserve a shot more than some new guy coming in.
How about to the match we saw, like, just, was it 5-10 minutes ago?
Exactly. I don't want to repeat the same thing. Granted, they deserved it. They did a wonderful match, a very hard fought contest, but you want to make sure that the guys that have dedicated their lives to us, dedicated the most amount of time, get their shots, get their spots.
Yeah, like, I have mixed feelings about new guys coming in and taking titles and taking anything really, because they haven't earned their spot yet. They haven't earned what they need to do, if that makes sense.
Exactly. And you got to wonder if Aiden Flynn is out of this match. Of course, he got hit with that green mist by Matty Meyer. And you take away somebody's eyes in a matchup like this, where you essentially need eyes in the back of your head. To not have the ones on the front of your head is quite the detriment.
I mean, it's looking a bit more easy to commentate now. That's all I'm going to say, with less people in the ring.
Definitely a little bit easier now.
I mean, I'm not... Oh, is he going to...
It was going to go for a big suplex there, but able to counter out Aiden Flynn.
Yeah. Wait, is he just flexing while... Huh?
Kieran Malachi is a very unpredictable individual. As far as I know, we've come to find out that Kieran Malachi is presumably inhabited by some Egyptian spirit, some Egyptian god that he is a vessel for.
Ali.
And sometimes we're seeing Kieran, and sometimes we're seeing whatever god is inhabiting him. So if he, maybe those chiropractic modes, are those Kieran, or are they the other guy?
Are they Ra? Ra, sorry. Ra, Malachi. Okay.
Drop dead Tiger Driver there on Jay Scott. Drop dead Tiger Driver on Kieran Malachi. A crossfire on the other side of the ring by Jacob Nitro. Jay Scott in a bad position here.
Matty Meyer.
But Matty
has
Meyer.
been eliminated.
Matty Meyer is the one eliminated in that moment. We are down to our final few.
Yeah. Our final few, but it's not like... I don't know.
We got
feel-
four
I
more
feel
competitors.
like they're just tired at this point. A lot of the competitors are just tired.
But still able to hit that standing shooting star press. Jacob Nitro going after Aiden Flynn. Is the vision of this getting any clearer? Do we have bets on who we're thinking is gonna win this one?
Aiden
And
Flynn has been eliminated.
Aiden Flynn just eliminated by Jacob Nitro, and there were three.
There were 3. I mean, if I was one of them, I'd try and stay out of it and just let 2 of them eliminate, each other.
And it looks like that's what Jay Scott is doing over there in the corner. Jay Scott, of course, the freshest competitor in this match, but also one of the smartest to try to stay out of this.
I mean, he's showing that he has some brains at least.
Definitely showing that he has some brains. You know, he is into all kinds of science, all kinds of disciplines. He's got a big brain on him. That's what I'm trying to say.
He has big brain.
Speaking of big brain, Kieran Malachi's may be reduced to mush at this point after that big fisherman brain buster there.
I mean,
Kieran Malachi has
honestly,
been eliminated.
a lot of our competitors' brains are already busted.
And here we are, the final two. A stare off here in the middle of the ring in Phoenix, Arizona. And things are about to get interesting. No longer do they have to worry about, you know, secondary or third people that they have to contend with. It's just one-on-one at this point.
Indeed it is. But honestly, they're both very, very good competitors. I can't tell who's going to win.
You know, Jacob Nitro overcoming all of the odds, born with cerebral palsy, quite like Will Sheridan, who is competing for the championship here tonight. So it'd be interesting to see both of those competitors face off, just because of their similar backstories.
Really, really do, yeah.
But Jay Scott got Jacob Nitro in a horrible position here. And he does it.
Having outlasted all other competitors, your winner of this contest is Jay Scott.
Jay Scott coming into Covenant Pro Wrestling in the number 10 spot in this Battle Royal and having his way with it. They say he outlasted all of the other competitors, and that is technically true, but there were some that were in way longer than him. We'll have to see how this plays out for Covenant Pro Wrestling. This is insane.
It really is, James. It really, really is. Speaking of James, here's a Jamie Clark.
Exactly. Jamie Clark taking on Seth Dallas, but this is no normal match. This is Bullet Kick versus 585. Which finisher is the best? Which is the premier finisher here in Covenant Pro Wrestling? Because this is a knockout match.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following matchup is 585 versus Bullet Kick in a knockout match. The first competitor to knock out their opponent with their finishing move will be deemed the winner. Introducing first, making his way to the ring from London, England, weighing in at 256 pounds, he is Jamie Clark.
Jamie Clark making his way to the ring, has shown in recent weeks that 585 is very powerful, and now he just wants to showcase it again here today against his rival Seth Dallas, who says the opposite, that the Bullet Kick is the most powerful move in Covenant Pro Wrestling.
I mean, both have very, very deadly moves in their arsenals.
Absolutely.
Like,
And for this to be a knockout match.
yeah, I don't know what to think, to be honest.
And now for his opponent, making his way to the ring from Carson City, Nevada, weighing in at 251 pounds, he is the Chopper, Seth Dallas!
Don't know what to think at this point, but, you know, luckily for us, we don't have to think. They're going to show us. Seth Dallas, of course, hasn't got a win here in Covenant Pro Wrestling yet. So he's got even more on the line than telling the whole world that his bullet kick is more powerful than the 585. He's trying to prove that he belongs here.
Yeah, he really has got to prove that he belongs, because you come into CPW, you talk shit, basically you fuck around and you find out.
Absolutely fuck around and find out. The more you fuck around, the more you're gonna find out. And, you know, as fun as cussing on the mic is, I don't think either of these competitors are quite fucking around tonight.
Nor do I. I think they're gonna try and destroy each other. Right into it, aren't they?
Absolutely. Right in this matchup, you know, right into this matchup with quite the ferocity. A big springboard Phoenix splash there. Yeah, we'll just call it that. We'll call it that.
Yeah. We don't even know how to name moves anymore.
No, we don't. Jamie Clark seemed to be in a bad position there for a moment, but that Northern Light suplex, you know, those are gonna do some to wear down the opponent. But the only things that matter in this matchup, flatliner there by Seth Dallas, the only things that matter in this matchup are the finishing moves. Now, if you know I were a competitor in a match like this, a big flipping elbow from the top rope, I would go ahead and just hit him with a finishing move right off the bat. I could end this one in 3 seconds flat, right?
Thing is, for finishing moves, you need to move up. You need to warm up to be able to perform them, because you go in there, you've done your pre-match warm-ups, and you perform such an intense move, you're going to pull a muscle because your body still hasn't properly warmed up.
You make a good point there. So they have to do their groundwork before they can start doing the heavy lifting there.
Basically, yeah.
We see this has transitioned to the outside. Seth Dallas in control right now, but wanting to bring it back inside. Seemed like Jamie Clark was going for a scoop slam there, but Seth Dallas able to get out of it, but Jamie Clark still firmly in control. Huge missile drop kick from the top rope.
Yeah, it really is a huge, huge kick, but it's not the finisher yet, and that's what we're looking for.
Not the finisher. And I think right now we're in the phases of laying that groundwork like you were alluding to, Jack. They're, you know, putting the pressure on their opponent and trying to make sure that they don't know when their finishing move is going to happen. You know, make sure that they don't expect it, and that way they can get a full contact hit.
I mean, why is he standing there?
Maybe he's debating on whether or not he wants to end this on the outside, because in this matchup, you know, that is legal. It doesn't have to be on the inside of the ring.
I mean, you know what would be more of a power move? To finish the match without using your finisher.
I mean, I guess you could knock out your opponent with any other maneuver that, targets the head. But when it's, 585 versus bullet kick, I don't think either of these, competitors want to stray from those guidelines, because both of these moves mean so much to them. Of course, Jamie Clark gets his from, his training with Michael Young and making Michael Young proud and making his family proud as one of his primary motivators. And of course, Seth Dallas, the Chopper, has made his entire career on that bullet kick. And in the future, I've heard that they're going to have something called the Bullet Kick Party, where sewer rats are going to celebrate the master of the bullet kick. And by sewer rats, I mean individuals living in a post-apocalyptic world in 2043.
Who hurt you?
Far too many people, but right now I guess I'll get my focus back. Thank you, Jack Colby, for always keeping me grounded.
You're grounded. Go to your room.
Maybe later. And speaking of being grounded, Seth Dallas grounded by that back suplex. Jamie Clark boasting in the ring, taunting. I think it's about time one of them tried to put each other away.
Yeah, they need to start putting each other away.
Headbutt. Suplex. Absolutely brutal there.
And your winner of this contest via knockout, the
there it is.
Chopper, Seth Dallas.
Absolutely brutal there.
Call me crazy if you feel like, but I don't even know if Jamie Clark even hit his 585. It feels like a blur. So much happened in that match, but I don't even think he hit it. Ladies and gentlemen, just as only one of these men can walk out Covenant Pro Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion, I am the only announcer, only commentator at this booth right now to see Connor Gates and Will Sheridan go at it. We've seen Connor Gates have a hell of a run here in Covenant Pro Wrestling, and Will Sheridan, of course, is the one that built this company from the ground up, and both of them want to be crowned the first champion.
Matchup is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the Covenant Pro Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship. Making their way to the ring first, hailing from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, weighing in at 229 pounds, he is the live wire, Will Sheridan.
Will Sheridan making his way down to the ring. He is the chairman of Covenant Pro Wrestling. He knows how the optics of this look. He knows that people don't want him in this match, and if he wins, there is going to be an even bigger target on his back. But the Iron Will, who can stop it? Can Connor Gates? We're not sure. We're about to find out. But Will Sheridan is a force to be reckoned with. Absolutely focused. You see it on his face. He's waited for this moment his whole life. Everyone told him that he would never be a champion, and he's always said he's gonna grab whatever he wants, because whatever he wants, he is going to take it.
And now for his opponent, making his way to the ring from West Midlands, England, weighing in at 210 pounds, he is the Anarchist, the Skyburner, the Truthless for Connor Gates coming into this matchup 4-0, trying to make it 5-0, similar to Belflin right here tonight, who became the women's champion, and he has very good odds of doing so, not only because of his, his position in ranking right now, but his abilities, his technique, everything about Connor Gates speaks champion, but he's gonna have his hands full here tonight. And we see that beautiful Covenant Pro Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship on the screen, and that is what it's all about. It's for all the marbles here. Leonard Seymour raising that belt above his head, and you can only imagine that he's thinking about, what if I was champion? But these two men, one of them tonight is going to be champion. Will Sheridan starting off pretty aggressively. Big suplex there. Chopping at Connor Gates, but Connor Gates able to avert it. I assume he was going for a big knee there, but Will Sheridan, he studied his opponent. And it's working out well for him right now. Big arm drag, sending Connor Gates near the corner. Huge neck breaker there from Will Sheridan. And it looks like he's going to try another one, and he does. Pinfall early in the match. Not even a 1 count. Leonard Seymour in perfect position. And if it worked once, he's going to try it again. A huge neck breaker on Connor Gates. Connor Gates on the back foot here. But just as I say that, showing his agility, showing his, prowess in terms of countering his opponent. And now, got something special planned for Will Sheridan. Knees to the chest, just having him tangled up in the ropes there, going for something bigger here, and a nice big boot to Will Sheridan's chest and face area, a tornado over the top rope. Connor Gates showing that he is going to be dominant in this contest. He might not have started off well, but on this submission hold here, he's giving everything that he has. Big elbow drop to the crook of that knee. And we have a cattle mutilation on the outside of the ring. That is not going to do much for Connor Gates if he wants to win this belt, but it will, definitely wear down Sheridan, who was trying something big here as well. Huge powerbomb and completely just whipping him around like a wrecking ball, slamming him into the apron. Will Sheridan on the outside with his Texas Cloverleaf. We've seen him become more proficient with submission maneuvers over the last few months. Of course, in Covenant Pro Wrestling, they do have up until a 20 count, but Connor Gates making sure that he gets his opponent in the ring. Will Sheridan seemed to be going for that buffer overflow, but he's countered and is on the receiving end of a German suplex. Connor Gates, huge kick to Will Sheridan there. And these two, they don't have much experience with one another. Of course, they've run into each other in the backstage area, but they haven't really had an opportunity to get used to how the other one works. So they're both sort of out of their element in this match. Huge knees to Will Sheridan. Connor Gates in firm control. A pinfall. 1, 2. And the Iron Will is still intact. Will Sheridan kicks out. Connor Gates looking for something bigger here. Something that's going to put Will Sheridan out. But no, Will Sheridan slamming Connor Gates down with authority and looking for something big himself. Maybe that will breaker. And we see him going after that leg, wrenching back, trying to make Connor Gates tap out. Connor Gates in a bad situation in the middle of the ring. Will Sheridan hasn't been able to get the leverage. He hasn't been able to lean back quite enough.
That Gamangiri counter from the floor there. Will Sheridan not letting him affect it for long, or letting it affect him for long until it happens again. I guess good things come in 2s and 3s. This has been a back and forth contest. It's been incredible. Connor Gates working away on the arm of Will Sheridan. Of course, Will Sheridan has had problems in the past with that arm. But right now, Connor Gates got put up for the buffer overflow. Will Sheridan hits it perfectly. A pinfall. Referee Leonard Seymour, 1, 2. And just on the margin of a 3 count, Connor Gates still in this matchup, still fighting. But a will breaker. This could be it. Will Sheridan, he's got it locked in, leveraging. Connor Gates taps out, and Will Sheridan, your chairman, is now your champion. I can't believe it. This is just a new age in Covenant Pro Wrestling. Will Sheridan said that this is his vindication, and he was not wrong. We're looking back at the action in this contest now, but I know Will Sheridan is gonna want you all to see him lifting up that belt in just a moment. That buffer overflow, that was the end of it almost for Connor Gates. But that will breaker, the only will that broke was Connor Gates. The new champion, the new title here in Covenant Pro Wrestling, the new target that everyone has on their mind. This is his vindication. He is the vindicator, and tonight he is the vindicated. Ladies and gentlemen, that is all we have for you here tonight. Like, share, subscribe, and more for more Covenant Pro Wrestling Uproar. We will be back in 2 weeks. Every other week going forward. We are going to bring you more shows and more excitement for many, many months and years to come. Covenant Pro Wrestling, out.